Hi, I am Ravi Shankar. Today I am going to give a presentation about management of project portfolios or EPM, enterprise portfolio management. Consists of why do we pursue EPM strategy, the portfolio management framework, and the processes that we are going to use. And what are the benefits of portfolio management office? Various templates and also the tools that is used in the EPM space. Starting with this, you see a big ad sailing to win the race. This is similar to an organization to win the race, to be a number one company in the market. To be a number one company in the market, they have to adopt the latest technologies, new products to be added, new services to be added, and it to go in proper direction. EPM facilitates to work as one large team. Similar to the ad, as you notice, people are doing various tasks or activities, and their main objective is to win the race and they work together as one large team. Similarly, organizations to work as a one large team, and EPM supports that or facilitates that activities. We need to centralize the distributed execution model in the sense all projects, all change initiatives have to start or to be centralized. If it is decentralized, there will be a lot of silos. That means some of the projects will be repeated. That is wastage of money for the organization. It may be beneficial to an individual department or departments, but not for the organization because of repetition. In the distributed model, still silos are there. Better than the decentralized, but still silos are there. In the centralized platform or the model, every project is analyzed by the senior stakeholders, and the senior stakeholders are going to work as one large team, and they take proper decision which one to go, which project should be approved, which project should not be approved. Enterprise Project Portfolio Management Office facilitates this activity. They support these activities. They make recommendation to the to the program board or the portfolio board to make appropriate decisions. As I said earlier, the products and services resources. These are the three things we need for a given organization. We need to have new products. We need to have new services and with the constrained resources. So we had to balance between these products and services and the resources because the competition is increasing. Selling price is less stable. Customer behavior, buying behavior changing rapidly. Customer retention is a growing concern. This is happening to every organization. Margins are shrinking because of the outsourcing activity in Australia, for example. Technology is changing rapidly. iPhone, Android, big data, e-learning. So the technology is changing rapidly. The organizations need to adopt those technologies to their products and services. In that way, they can compete in the market. Shareholder sentiment is not always based on business fundamentals. Shareholders are focused on dividends, not on the long-term strategy. Social network sentiment can shift or can change overnight. So, Enterprise Portfolio Management Office review all these scenarios and prepare a blueprint or a portfolio dashboard and share with the senior management to take appropriate decisions. Now, so far we looked at the EPM. Why do we need a EPM? What's the importance of it? Let us look at now the EPM processes, project portfolio management processes. As you see, it's a create, select, plan, and manage. Create is the demand management. This is where all the units or departments have various demand of the projects or services, and portfolio management collects those demands. At the same time, they create various templates, processes to ensure that the demand coming from the organizational departments is managed effectively. In the selection area, which is a portfolio selection, in this area, the portfolio office will understand the requirements from the each group. They categorize it, they prioritize it, and give a presentation to the management board. It can be a one single team member or a multiple team members of the project of the management board. So portfolio selection is made at that time. The next thing is, depending upon the portfolio selection, the PPM has to manage to plan the capacity and capability required to deploy or to implement those selected portfolio of projects. So they do the resource management spreadsheet, financial management that looks at the benefits, how much funding is required. It can be capital budget or operational budget, and what are the benefits produced. The portfolio manager works very closely with the financial manager of the corporation in terms of getting the appropriate funds and also show the benefits after the project is implemented. So the portfolio reporting goes from end to end, starting from the create until it is deployed. Project reporting is for an individual project. Scheduling is the same. Team collaboration is required as it shows end to end. I think from the beginning I'm emphasizing the organization has to work as one large team. The program management is it is the PPM community, project managers, program managers, PMO office, they all have to work in sync. Okay, what all the activities of the portfolio office should do? What do they do? They collaborate with various departments and functions. The first one is about the finance. As I said earlier, PMO office, portfolio office has to work with the finance in terms of the to preparing the business cases, investment appraisal, net profit value, benefits realization, and so on. So finance will be very key on the information. Strategic planning. Portfolio office has to when they prepare the list of projects or the change initiatives, it has to align it to the strategy. So it has to work with the strategy group. HR, capacity and capability are required to deliver the projects. So portfolio has to give a resource plan to the HR. You may have to recruit people from outside, or you may have to send some skills which are not required within the organization. We have to let them go. Portfolio office has to work with the HR. Center of excellence. Portfolio office has to work with the PMO. It can be project management office or or program management office to have a standard templates and processes across the organization. Similarly, business architecture team has to work with portfolio office. In this case, whatever the new business functions it is introduced to a given business area, the business architecture team has to review it with the blueprint and update or modify. So the requirements comes from the business architecture team and they work with the business function. Real estate services, Depending upon the new change initiatives or projects, we may need to hire more resources. So we have to look at the real estate area. PPM communities, project managers, program managers, and so on, they work directly with the portfolio office and vice versa. Performance management. The organization, the key people within the organization, they monitor the performance of the organization, how it is progressing. Portfolio office has to work with them to track how these initiatives, when they are implemented, it's going to improve the performance of the company. Communications is a very important one. Portfolio office produces various reports so that portfolio office has to regularly send the update not just to the stakeholders, to the people who are deploying the projects, to show that everything is going according to the agreed time frame budget, so that communication is which this is going to motivate people to work as one large team, and also they feel that you are part of the team. So communication is a very important vehicle. Portfolio office should use it. Procurement or commercial, this is to engage external service providers. When a portfolio office projects the number of projects in 1 year or 3 year plan, the procurement should be aware of it, what's coming in the pipeline. Accordingly, they can convey this message to the external service providers so that we have appropriate resources from those areas. Information technology. The projects can be IT projects or a business projects. If it is IT projects, of course, the portfolio office has to work with the IT. Not only that, IT may provide some software tools to the portfolio office so that it will improve the productivity of the portfolio office. I'll go through those tools at a later stage. Management board. This is a very important one. Management board should be 100% committed for these changes. They should work as one team, and portfolio office spent a lot of time working with the management board team members. So portfolio office do work with the various departments and functions. Now I'm going to focus more on the management board. The management board is to demonstrate it's committed to change. It's very important. In many large organizations, depending on the political scenarios, there can be one or two management board member may not be interested in the working as a one large team. They may try to work in silos. If that happens, the portfolio management framework won't work efficiently or effectively. This is where the portfolio manager has to spend time with each member of the management board to influence that management board member to work as one team. Active engagement in decision making process of portfolio. So, and the management board will prioritize the projects and programs. The portfolio manager, again I repeat, the portfolio manager has to spend considerable amount of time with the project board as a managed board members to influence, to take appropriate decision for the organization, not just for one area. We have to implement appropriate portfolio governance structure. It can be single level or multi-level, depending on the size of the organization, depending on the complexity of the projects or programs, depending upon the financial stages, in the sense, depending on the level of the business case. For example, anything less than $5 million will be approved by a level 1 portfolio governance group. Anything more than $5 million, it will be approved by the corporate board. So there should be a clear defined roles and responsibilities. Every project or every change initiative should be aligned to the strategy. If it is not aligned to the strategy and there is no benefit linked to that, don't do it. Even the mandatory ones which has to be done, mandatory projects which projects which have to be done, again they're linked to the strategy. If it is not linked to anything, you have to decommission it. When we do this, from my experience, when we do this alignment, we can decommission many existing projects which are in the pipeline or many projects which are supposed to be implemented. This saves millions of dollars to the organization. In one of the examples I noticed, I was implementing a $13.6 million project. It was not linked to the strategy, but it was an idea coming from a senior member of the organization. Because of the political structure, he got the support. But when the portfolio manager start aligning these things, realize that when I started aligning this to the strategy and the benefits, the corporate board realized it is it's a wastage of time and money, and they decommissioned that program. Another important one thing is about the energized change culture. Senior management should be committed. Mutual and shared desire to succeed should be there among the corporate board members. There should be appropriate effective governance. That means they need to take appropriate decisions at the committee, at the steering committee meetings for the projects and programs. The behavior of the of every person should reflect success of the organization, not for the individual projects or silos. Okay, let us discuss about the process now. We discussed about the framework, what should be the governance structure, how to work as a one large team, how portfolios manager work with the various groups and functions and so on. Now let us discuss about how do we create the portfolio of projects. If there is a given project or a new idea, you have to look at the n number of things like look at the strategic fit. What are the benefits it's going to raise? What's the performance to date to the organization? How much it costs? It can be operational or capital budget. What are the dependencies? If it depends on some other project which is going to implement 2 years, 3 years down the track, we need to review those scenarios. What resources are required for this project? What are the risks we have to implement this project? What's the business impact in terms of training, hiring people, or a functional change? So each change initiative should be analyzed to ensure that there are not many hurdles or there are no major hurdles to proceed to the next stage. So first, understanding the current or a new portfolio, definitely this helps our corporate board members to take a decision. This is a very important slide because this takes a lot of time for the portfolio manager to produce this. So this is about understanding the current portfolio. So this gives a view to the organization or to the board members what do we have in hand. Once we understand the current portfolio, the next thing is categorize it. It can be strategic, operational, mandatory, business support, and so on. Categorize them. I'm just giving an example here, but in a given organization, these category can change. It purely depends upon the organization. So capture how many projects or programs are there in each category. And this bubble diagram will explain what's the planned end date for implementing it, when are we going to realize the benefits, and the bubble size shows what the investment is required. This will help the project to the corporate board members to take a decision, or a portfolio governance board members to take a decision to approve or disapprove, depending upon the when they're going to implement, what benefits they're going to get. So this is a very powerful graph for the board members to understand which one to approve. Once the projects are prioritized, and the governance board will say that yes, we need 10 projects to be implemented. The next thing is we have to look at the timing. We can't implement all 10 projects at the same time. We have to look at what's the impact to the business if we implement, and the stage of initiative development, at what stage it is there. What are the risks we have if all 10 will go together? What resources do we have? And what are the immediate benefits? And also look at the risks. Select the projects based on risks, benefits, and the budget. So the portfolio manager has to spend considerable amount of time doing analysis and support and facilitate the corporate board members to take appropriate decisions. He has to work with the various people, as I already went through that, working with the various business and functions. The portfolio manager plays a key role in helping the board members to take decisions, communicating effectively to the PPM community what needs to be done, and this person established standard tools and processes for deployment of this implementation of these projects. He works with the finance group, like getting the business case approval and also showing the benefits. If this person manages the portfolio very well, it will save millions of dollars to the organization, cost savings, plus he can he will support to realize the benefits. He plays a major role in the organization. Okay, this is the portfolio 3-year plan. It's just an example I'm giving it. So it can be any investment type, so NPV, and it gives us, this picture gives how much is the investment is required, what benefits we are going to raise. It is just an example. Portfolio dashboard. This is for active projects. I mean, these projects have been approved by the investment committee, and some projects can be at the scoping stage or idea phase, or it can be in the implementation phase. It has got traffic lights, health status, that gives an indication how the project is performing or the portfolio is performing. Normally this is reviewed once a month, but if there are too many red lights are there, it is reviewed once a week. It depends upon the program managers how working depends on program managers how often they want to work with the project managers. Purely depends upon the traffic lights and the criticality of the projects. Okay, we covered about the processes. Some of the dashboard I covered it. So what are the benefits of the portfolio office? Separate wheat from chaff. That is, separate the prioritized projects from the total projects or total initiatives. When you are understanding the projects, that means you may be having 100 projects or 100 initiatives. When you start separating it, that means understanding it, categorizing it, and prioritizing it and balancing. We are going to get the proper projects that can be deployed. Benefits are cost savings or revenue gains. Decommission certain applications that won't be aligned to organization strategy. Resources and skills are optimally utilized, efficiently utilized. That means improve productivity. Helps management to take quick decisions on the current and future projects. This shows various templates the EPMO uses. Business case template is required because we need a business case to get the approval for a given project. Portfolio progress report provides how the portfolio is progressing. Investment appraisal template is required along with the business case to show the net profit value, IRR, and so on. Portfolio dashboard delivery assessment that gives an overall assessment how the portfolio is performing. Portfolio framework, which I covered earlier. Benefit management framework that shows about how the benefit management processes works. What's the framework is required. Benefit management plan for a given project. We need to have or a program. We need to have a benefit management plan. When are we going to realize the benefits? How often? And so on. Financial management plan is required for the portfolio, for the program and project. Risk management is required at the portfolio level, at the program level, and the project level. But we are focusing mainly at the portfolio level here. Dependency management is required so that the portfolio manager works with the dependency manager or various groups within the various groups who focus on the dependency in the various departments. Stakeholder engagement is required. We have to identify who are the key stakeholders and their name should be documented, and also understand the importance of the stakeholders, the political influence they have, and work with them. Resource management is required, like what skills are required and how many are required. So there's a template for that one. So when the portfolio of projects are prepared, we need to identify those resources. That is capability and capacity. Organizational governance. This is the one's governance structure. What should be the governance structure? Who are the key people should be there? Okay, that's about the templates. The last one is about the tools. We need a software tool. Depending on the size of the organization, we need a software tool to manage the portfolio. There are 100 software tools in the market, and I won't say that any tool can be used. Even though I have listed some important ones are widely used tools in the market, there is no one size fits all. There can be minor variations, but these are very popular one. Oracle Primavera is widely used in the large organizations. IBM Rational, Clarity, Computer ChangePoint, HP PPM Center, SAP Portfolio, and Project Management. These are some vital tools used in the market, and I'm not recommending anyone which one to be used. It purely depends upon your organizational requirements. That's all I wanted to cover today. So I went through the um, why do we need the EPM, or why do you pursue EPM? I covered the framework, the processes, dashboard, portfolio dashboard template, some of the templates what we need at a high level, and what tools do we use. If you have any questions or comments, please send an email to rshankar99@gmail.com. I'll try to reply you within 48 hours. Bye for now.